How we doing, Fit Fam? This is G7 of G7 Transformations, and I'm going to walk you through the steps of the traditional deadlift. So first things first, let's talk about stance. The ideal stance for traditional deadlift would be the stance you would take to do your best vertical leap. So if I wanted to touch this like rail here, I eyeball that, my legs would come to a natural stance. I find in general people deadlift a little too wide. So for me, this is fairly narrow. So I'm going to spot that lift. This would be my jump. And boom, there's my deadlift stance. Secondly, my feet are slightly out at an angle, not a 30-degree angle like a squat, just slightly angled so that I can gauge something called external rotation. In layman's terms, that means I'm flexing and engaging my butt. All right, here's how I set up to the bar. I'm going to walk up to the bar in that stance. And the bar is going to be right over my midfoot, which is also the highest point in my arch. If you're wearing low-top sneakers like I am, by the way, these are flat-bottom sneakers, no cushions. Don't ever wear cushion sneakers when you're doing heavy barbell lifts. It's going to be right above where I tie my shoes. So there's my setup. So I call this step one. Step one is the setup, bar right over the midfoot. Step two, I'm going to reach down and grab the bar just outside of my knees without bending my knees. Step three, I'm going to bring my shins to the bar, but not the bar to my shins. So I'm not going to roll the bar to my shins. I'm bringing my shins to the bar. Step four, I'm going to drop my butt, tighten my back, and really, really engage my lats. The image I like to think here is gorilla, because I want that stiffness so I can keep my back working as one. So step one, step two, step three, step four, gorilla. And I'm really shimmying into this position. I'm going to take a huge breath. And step five is when I take this breath, I'm going to drag the bar up my shins and then my thighs, as if I'm shaving my legs with the bar. One last time as you watch, here come the steps. Step one, step two, step three, step four, breath, step five. Bar up the shins, up the thighs, down the thighs, down the shins. As I reset, I get into that gorilla position, so I keep stiffness here. I never want to round my back. If I feel back rounding, don't do the lift. If you can maintain this stiffness, do the lift. And the place I am pulling from are my glutes. My glutes are engaged this entire time. I'm pulling from my glutes and my hammies, and that area of my upper back just below my neck. It's like I'm closing a book, I'm opening the book. And that's your basic deadlift technique.